these both golden retrievers?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're both therapy dogs. They're both golden retrievers.
At first, I thought that they went to my school because of the vests.
What school did you go to? You did go to San Diego.
No, I still do.
You still do.
I have one last year.
What grade are you in?
I'm going 4.
Wow. Wow. So that's Jillian.
Hey.
And this is Nala. My kid.
Is he a rescue? I didn't meet you guys. Yeah. I work at the high school. I feel like I know everybody, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, we went to Holly Elementary. Though.
You did? Yeah.
I work in rescue.
Okay.
I see a lot of these.
Yeah. Like clean little body shape and not quite as big. But yeah, he's a good dog.
That's awesome.
He loves sticks.
There, Ann. What do you got? Do you have any?
They'll take your picture. Stay there. Somebody will take your picture. Everybody's been walking right by. Mostly because she hates to have her picture taken.
Oh.
Camera shy.
Video's okay though?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
From Lauren. She went out on vacation.
I didn't see her the other day. She left early to go to Washington.
Hi. Good girl, Jess.
We're waiting to see when they're gonna. No, and it was so fast. That's what it was. Started with 250. I think I'll probably go for the summer with those. Exactly. I can tweak
That's
it
up close and personal.
Tech department's got another
There's the web and the region. So check and make sure they can do the agent.
So Torrin's going to be a brother again.
Come on, pet him. He's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. He bites.
You want to feel something really soft?
He doesn't bite.
No, he doesn't bite. He doesn't bite, Brandon. See? You know when we play with our kitties, we pet the kitties just like this. You want to pet that end first? Want to pet his butt? Look. Touch his tail. Touch his tail. Yeah, touch him here. There's no teeth there. Trying to get him okay with bigger dogs. Yeah. He's fine with smaller ones. It's the bigger ones that freak him out. I think it's the size.
Some dogs
You could just say hi.
That one there?
I do like it back there. Don't Good girl.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Newtown Thanks the Therapy Dogs. What a wonderful turnout. My name is David Fry. I'm from the Westminster Kennel Club. And on behalf of the Westminster Kennel Club, I want to proclaim that today and every day, all therapy dogs are champions. In our world, in the dog show world, we always worry about what we're going to teach them, whether how to sit, how to stand, how to move. And I think all of us here today can well appreciate that we should worry less about what we teach our dogs and think a little bit more about what we learn from them. I also have the good fortune, I'm blessed to be the president and founder of a therapy dog organization called Angel on a Leash. And certainly today, we're happy to share that name with all the angels on leashes that are out here. The Bible tells us that a faithful friend is the medicine of life and immortality, and certainly we've seen that here in Newtown in the last 6 months. When these dogs walk into a room, we get people to smile that haven't had much to smile about. We get people to talk, and they haven't had much to talk about. And actually, sometimes they don't need to talk to give their reaction. But mostly, we get people to think about things other than the challenges that they may be facing in their world. And we thank the dogs for that. We thank their wonderful human partners for being involved in it. And we just thank everybody for being there for people in need, as our wonderful therapy dogs do. So, we'd like to introduce our speakers for the day. Our first speaker is Kathy Hamilton Fetchick, who is a member of Newtown's Legislative Council. Her children attend Sandy Hook Elementary School, and they have come to love the therapy dogs in our community. Kathy?
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you all for coming this morning so that we can express our gratitude for these therapy dogs. This event was organized by the Newtown veterinarian specialists, so a big thank you and applause for them for organizing. I'm going to be very brief. As you know, this tragedy has struck our town to the core, and losing so many children and educators has been just completely unimaginable. However, we needed to find a way to come back and figure out how to move forward while keeping all that we lost in our hearts still. And we could not have done it with so many special volunteers and support from people all over the world. These therapy dogs were part of that big team supporting our town. They have traveled from all over the country to help support us and help Newtown heal, and we owe them a heartfelt thanks. The dogs have spent so many countless hours in our schools, in the library, at the youth academy, and all over our community. And I have some personal knowledge about this because my fourth grader just finished fourth grade at Sandy Hook School. And I have to tell you, after December 14th, it was very difficult to go back to school. It was unfamiliar, it was big. Not only the children, but the staff and the parents, we were all nervous about going back to school. But having those therapy dogs, they brought back warmth and happiness and security back to the schools. And every day that my daughter came home from school, she brought dog therapy business cards. They have business cards, I don't. So we've got Chloe from Illinois. We have Maggie from Newtown. We have Addie from Danbury. And we have so many more. I've got hundreds of cards here. And we even have Bacher here today with his handler Marie from Mount Kisco, who traveled to Newtown despite all of her personal struggles. My daughter, it was some very dark days for our family. Very quiet. She had a hard time talking about all this. But when she talked about the dogs that she saw every day at school, she lit up. And of course now we're probably going to have to get a dog. So it's really with some heartfelt thanks. I have some personal knowledge of all this, and I welcome you all to Newtown, and thank you. I can't thank you enough for helping us heal from this tragedy.
My family was touched personally here too, and I just would like to introduce my wife Sherilyn, who is a Catholic chaplain and director of family support at the Ronald McDonald House in New York City. And when the tragedy happened, the Red Cross called her and brought her to Newtown. She spent the week here counseling and caring for people. So if you get a chance to say hello to Sherilyn, please do. Our next speaker, and I'd like to thank Brad for asking us to be here. Brad Cole is a volunteer at the Yale New Haven Hospital with his therapy dog, Spartacus. If you've ever been in a room with Spartacus, you know there's not much room left over for you. They were the initial therapy dog team to arrive in Newtown on December 14th. And now I'd like to introduce Brad Cole to share some of his thoughts with you as well.
Thank you, David. This is a celebration. This is a celebration of faith and trust and support Newtown has shown us the therapy dog teams, everyone here. There are 4 people that laid the groundwork for the dogs to be in the community, and I want to recognize them here today. Dr. Jennings with Family and Children's Aid of Connecticut. They were the lead counseling agency at Reed. And Dr. Jennings, thank you, sir, for your faith and leap of faith that he took to include the dogs with his counselors for those first few days after the 14th. Dr. John Smith, Jay, where are you? Jay, little did you know that on Sunday evening at Reed, he pulled me aside, he said, I want 9 dog teams here Tuesday afternoon. Sir, thank you for your trust in having us with your students and your faculty and staff. Deirdre Croce, a counselor with Newtown High School. Now, some of you may know she's truly a dog person. And she was part of the initial team at Reed and then went back over to the high school for the opening day of classes. And she brought the Lutheran Goldens there as well. And she fielded the calls from the other schools to get the dogs into the schools. So Deirdre, thank you for your trusted support in helping us get these dogs into everybody's. A little known but very important part of the Reed process was Ken Murdoch with Save the Children. Ken and his organization ran the activity rooms for the children while people will be visiting with counselors. Ken, thank you and your staff for trusting us to be a part of your program and partnering with you. Please, when you see these people around, give them a handshake, a hug, because they're the reason why the dogs are here today. I want to recognize those people that work behind the scenes with the counselors the initial days at Reed. I'm not going to have them come up right now because it's just, we're running too late, but they will raise their hand and ask for them. Steve Burko with Dasha. Danny Klein with motorcycle dog Remy. The Myers family in total, sitting over there with the cooling tent. Lauren Friedman with Sienna and Drago. Christina Cola with her dog Copper. And finally, Bill Gordon with Rosie and Clarence. Many of you will not know who Bill is because Bill was in the Emergency Operations Center being with our first responders in an area that was secure and quiet where these dogs were truly needed. So Bill, thank you. As a little FYI, Copper has been nominated for the National Hero Dog Award because of her work in Newtown. Voting goes on for the next 3 weeks. So please, you can visit Copper the Therapy Dog Facebook page to find a link to vote. We would love to present this award to Newtown. We'd love to give it, and she'll give it in the honor. I want to specifically recognize 3 dog organizations for their immediate response on December 14th. Over to my right, Yale New Haven Hospital and their volunteer dog teams. Therapy Dogs International for their specialized teams and for providing dogs in the schools overall until yesterday. They deserve a big round of applause. And last but not least, the Lutheran Church Group and their comfort dogs. They were at the high school, and they donated a dog to St. Hook Elementary, and they made the students smile there. So please give it up for them because they deserve a good round of applause. Now, just like they do at the 10 and 11 o'clock news, I'm going to share something with you, but I'm going to leave a little tease here. The legislature has passed a landmark therapy dog law because of Newtown. We kept it off the radar, and unless you knew about it, you didn't know it was happening. But we have a state representative and a state senator here to announce the specifics, but it's landmark, it's first of its kind in the country. So that's because of you, Newtown. And in closing, I've been asked, why do we do this? When I say, why do we do this, I'm referring to all the dog teams here. I'm not one to speak well, but Albert Schweitzer, Nobel Peace Prize winner, says it best. Even if it's a little thing, do something for those who have a need of man's help. Something for which you get no pay, but the privilege of doing it. For remember, you don't live in a world all your own. Your brothers are here too. So again, thank you for the privilege of being with you. We appreciate it. And again, enjoy, David.
Our next speaker is Dr. Irvin R. Jennings, who Brad told you is the Executive Director of Family and Children's Aid. His agency was in charge of the crisis counseling at Reed Intermediate School, and he's here to tell you today about the great things that have happened because of their work. Dr. Jennings.
There's a saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And those of you that work with dogs and have dogs know that's probably not true. As it applies to old people like me, I was assuming it probably was true till I had the experience of the therapy dogs, starting the evening of 12/14 and going through till April 10th. Therapy dogs were an integral part of the work that we did at the Reed Drop-In Center. And when I say integral part, I don't mean just a peripheral involvement. The dogs were very central. There's nothing else that we did in those 4 months that caused a child's face to light up the way petting a dog, as that an experience for them. It was very therapeutic. One of the dangers that we were aware of is that not everybody that was affected by those events had a diagnosis or needed to be in treatment. A lot of people just needed to talk to someone for a while or to experience some joy, some pleasure. And that's what the therapy dogs did. They brought smiles to people's faces. I never saw anybody petting a dog who wasn't smiling. So this old dog learned something very new. I've been doing psychiatry for, I'm a child psychiatrist. I've been doing it for 40 years, and actually more. And I'd never experienced therapy dogs. I don't have a dog, although, as an earlier speaker said, I think I have to get one now. I'm supposed to be on the outlook today for the right size and temperament. The argument is get a puppy versus getting an older dog, so we're still having that debate. But it really taught me something, and that is the power of the dogs to bring something to the table that none of us as humans can do. So it's a very brief message, but I think an important one, that this work is indispensable, and I hope to bring therapy dogs. We have a clinic in Danbury, well, seven different towns, but the biggest is in Danbury. We see over 100 people a day there, and I want to incorporate the therapy dogs as a regular part of what we do. And I don't know that that's been done anywhere, but we're certainly committed to trying to do that. I'll be calling on some of you to help in that effort. So thank you all. It was a learning experience for me. It was a wonderful experience, if you can call anything wonderful that came out of this tragedy, but it certainly was an eye-opener. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jay Smith. He is the principal of Reed Intermediate School. He was the first principal to request dogs in his school. The dogs have remained in his school for the rest of the year. Jay Smith.
Hello, everyone. I come with props, so I'll be brief. Those of you who know me know I'm usually not brief, but I will be brief. And let's have the Reed students come out with the props. And while they're getting out here, I will start. I'm here officially on a very important mission. Come on out. Come right out in front. Come on up, right up in front. All right, come right over here. Okay, that's good. Now stay right there. That's perfect. All right. On a very important mission, and that mission is to officially express the everlasting gratitude and appreciation to all the dog teams who've come to Reed since the evening of December 14th. The students, yesterday was Honor a Therapy Dog Day at Reed School. We created over 1,000 stickers. I'm wearing one. You'll see a few people with them. Some other students at the last minute in one of the clusters decided that they wanted to write additional thank you notes and with artwork to be here today to express their appreciation. And a teacher stayed late last evening to laminate all of these for us, so that, and these will be around here if you want to see them as we go forward. Secondly, I've been charged by my students to present this poster that says thank you. And inside they want me to say thank you to all the dogs and their owners for all your comfort and love. So on behalf of all the Reed students and adults. Two people I need to thank, in addition to these wonderful colleagues and speakers here whom I've worked with so closely. The first is the president of Therapy Dogs International, Ursula Kemp. Therapy Dogs International has 22,000 members and 24,000 dogs. And their dogs, along with dogs from some other organizations, have been at Reed since the night of the 14th and every day since. We have worked out a system at Reed that we could not have done without the Therapy Dog International people and one of their unsung heroes, Karen Haney, who is our personal scheduler. Just like you do in your own businesses, you place your order a week in advance and your product shows up. And that's all due to Karen and her very hard work behind the scenes. On my way up here this morning, I figured something out. And that is that we have 820 students at Reed, plus over 100 adults. So let's say we have 1,000 people. Dogs have been in our school for 120 school days. There's been dogs at Reed every day. In the first months, we had 14 teams in school each day. We flooded classrooms with dogs to great benefit. Over the time, we've tapered the teams down to 9 teams a day. And in the last couple of months, 6 teams a day. Now remember, these dogs approach no one. They come, they sit, and kids and grown-ups come to them. And I figure it out as follows. 1,000 people at Reed, 120 school days, between 6 and 14 dog teams daily over that time. I figure interactions generated by students and adults in excess of 250,000 interactions. And as you all know, happy children make happy parents. So like the Visa, to paraphrase the Visa card ad, 1,000 people, 120 days of school, between 6 and 14 dog teams daily, 250,000 plus interactions. The impact, priceless. Thank you.
As he was doing all the math there, I realized why I didn't go into education. That's great. Congratulations to everybody involved at Reed. Our next speaker is Deidre Croce. She's the Newtown High School counselor, was a member of the crisis response team at Reed Intermediate School. She was responsible for arranging for dogs to be at the high school and placing additional dogs throughout the Newton School District after December 14th. Deidre.
Good morning. It is a privilege to be speaking today on behalf of these beautiful dogs and their dedicated handlers. My name is Deidre Croce, and I'm a counselor at Newtown High School and vice president of a foster-based rescue group called Spotty Dog Rescue. I have earned the nickname Crazy Dog Lady from both my students and of many who know me because of my tremendous passion for dogs. The knowledge of this passion is the reason I was asked to assist with the coordination of the therapy dogs in our schools in the months following December 14th. My first encounter with them was at Reed Intermediate School, where I was asked to assist at the crisis center the following day. That memory is still vivid in my mind. I arrived that first morning short of breath, knots in my stomach twisting, sweat on my palms making it difficult to turn the door handle. As I entered, the first face I saw had soft brown eyes surrounded by a thick coat of black and white fur. A stunning Akita stood before me, holding a stoic pose. He looked at me kindly as if he sensed my trepidation of walking through the doors. Almost instantly, my breathing returned to normal, and for a moment, I forgot why I was there in the first place. I just felt a sense of calm and was taken away from the anxiety and distress that I was sent there to help alleviate in others. He took his post beside me and invited me to pet his beautiful coat. At that time, I thought that my reaction was unique, because dogs were my own personal form of comfort. I soon realized, however, that the reactions from almost everyone who walked through those doors behind me were similar to mine. The people who came in weren't animal rescuers. They weren't even dog owners, many of them. But there was a visible sense of ease that was created for them when they were greeted by the dogs. Strained faces turned into smiles, and for one brief moment, they were distracted by the simple sight of a wagging tail. The task of coordinating the visits from the various teams of therapy dogs who were offering to help was a job that I was more than happy to take on. I now had a purpose in moving forward, and I was able to share my passion for dogs with my colleagues. The staff at the high school was unsure of what the return of the students would bring, and I was grateful to be able to introduce them to our four-legged supporters, knowing they would help us through. An assembly was arranged so everyone could congregate first thing in the morning. 1,700 teenagers and all of the staff members gathered in the gymnasium. This normally would create a lot of noise and commotion, but on this day, there was silence. As if on cue, a parade of dogs and their proud handlers arrived just as the last students settled onto the bleachers. They marched proudly to the center of the floor and calmly settled into a perfect circle. A collective sigh was heard, and the tension in the room was instantly lifted. We joined hands and gained strength from one another as we listened to our principal offer us words of encouragement. From that moment on, the dogs became a symbol of our healing. They have been there for us every day since that time, quietly standing guard, offering their committed support. The 6-month anniversary of the tragedy ironically landed on the last day of regular classes, and it was a Friday. What could have been a very difficult day turned into a reunion when our canine family marched to the cause once again and stood before us as a symbol of better things to come. A sea of people wearing We Are Newtown shirts joined hands and reflected on the strength and resilience that we have shown through these very difficult days. I learned the most important lessons in my counseling career from these insightful creatures over the last 6 months. I saw that during times of greatest sorrow, when there are no words to adequately express the emotions people are experiencing, simply being present and expecting nothing in return can be enough. Dogs are loyal, devoted, and pure of heart. They give us everything they have and ask for very little in return. Their minds are not clouded by the stressors of daily life. Their primary focus always remains fixed on their human. Their state of mind is a mirror image of the person on the other end of the leash. So while a lot of attention has been focused on the dogs, we would be remiss not to give credit to the amazing, compassionate individuals who accompany them so selflessly to their causes. Doris Day, actress and prominent rescue advocate, put it best when she said, "I have found that when you are deeply troubled, there are things you get from the silent, devoted companionship of a dog that you can get from no other source." A simple thank you doesn't seem like enough, but I'll say it again and again and again. Thank you, therapy dogs and your handlers, for your commitment to the healing of this special community.
Deidre Cross, thank you, Deidre. Thank you for your remarks, your hard work, and thank you for being the crazy dog lady that made all this happen. Yeah. Our next speaker is Ken Murdoch. Ken is with Save the Children in Westport, Connecticut. His agency was at Reed Intermediate School and provided an activity room for the children to decompress and relax. Ken Murdoch.
Thank you, thank you. A couple of other quick thank yous. I want to thank Brad Cole for allowing me to come here and be with you this morning, and good morning to everyone. I also want to thank Dr. Smith and Dr. Jennings for being such great partners with us throughout the event. And as stated, I work for Save the Children. I'm the Chief Information Officer there, but more importantly, we're 20-year Newtown residents here in town, and I just wanted to share that with you. I'm also a very proud board member of Newtown Kindness, and there's a great connection here today with that. When Save the Children responds to emergencies, and we respond to emergencies for over 90 years, one of the things that one of our signature programs is we set up is a child-friendly space just like we did here in Newtown. And whether it was Hurricane Sandy, or here in Newtown, or just recently in Oklahoma, or internationally with the Haiti earthquake, with the crisis in Syria, the child-friendly space is our signature program when we respond to emergency events. And just to share statistics, we figure that we serviced, not counting the therapy dogs, we figure we serviced well over 500 children throughout the course of the operation took place. Now, one of the core competencies of a child-friendly space is to make sure that we return normalcy to children. And so our focus is to create a space that has a nice reading area, a place to have games and puzzles and arts and crafts, and just a whole outside activity space when available. But this time around, our space was different. And the reason was because I met Spartacus. And Brad, by the way, he brought Brad along with him. So about 12 hours into the operation, Brad came up and asked me, "Hey, what do you think? Can we bring the therapy dogs into the room?" And at first I was hesitant because we had never done this before. But all I had to see was the smiles and the looks on the children's faces, and we knew that this was an absolutely perfect complement to our program. So we brought the dogs in, we rotated them through the room every 20 minutes. Thank you. and it just turned out to be an absolutely perfect compliment. And just to let you know, I just came back from Oklahoma last week, and the therapy dogs are with us there as well. We're going to be in Oklahoma for well over a year. We have 5 child-friendly spaces set up there, and the therapy dogs are with us there as well. One of the greatest things, and some of my colleagues have said it, at first responders, the greatest thing you want to see during these times are smiles returning on children's faces, laughter, sharing, and comfort. And it all comes to fruition and confirmation when you're closing down the room for the day and you have a young child who comes up to you and tugs on your pant leg and says, "Boy, this really is a friendly space." So the atmosphere in our room was greatly enhanced by the therapy dogs, and we are forever grateful that they were with us here in Newtown. And as I mentioned, they're with us in Oklahoma right now as we speak. So finally, I'd just like to extend the deepest gratitude and thanks from Save the Children to the therapy dogs and their handlers. We want to thank you for your professionalism, thank you for your compassion, and most of all, thank you for helping Newtown heal. Thank you.
We're going to bring our next 2 speakers up together because as Brad teased you with, they are responsible for a wonderful accomplishment working together in the legislature on behalf of therapy dogs and therapy animals everywhere. So I'd like to welcome now to the State Representative Diana Urban. She was one of the sponsors of the therapy dog legislation and is a strong supporter of a variety of animal legislations. And State Senator Dante Bartolomeo of Connecticut is another sponsor of the therapy dog legislation in the state of Connecticut. So we're going to bring them up together to tell you about this great bill that they've gotten enacted, and on behalf of all of us, therapy dogs and therapy dog friends.
Hey everybody, how are you? Good afternoon. Stick with us one more minute. Don't let us lose you. Hey, we're here together because we do things together just like the therapy dogs and their handlers do things together. This has been my dream for probably 8 years, for the state of Connecticut to recognize the value of the connection between therapy dogs, kids, and families and what you can accomplish. Probably all of you already know this, but psychologists have looked at this, and when they talk to kids and kids who are having problems or kids who are stressed, and they ask the child, "No, well, who do you talk to when you have this problem?" The child will say, "Well, I talk to my cousin," or "I talk to my brother." But guess what every single one of them says? If there's a family pet, they are talking to that family pet. And we need to be recognizing the value in that. And for me, I have 4 rescue dogs. I have Mr. Grizzly Bear, I have Miss Raquel, I have Oscar the Grouch, and I also have Indiana Jones, who is a Chihuahua Jack Russell, who was kept in a crate the first 2 years of his life, and he was a little nervous, and Dante knows he's now my press conference dog. He goes to every press conference, and believe me, the press wants to see him, not me. He also has a list of people in the Capitol that want to see him when he's up for a press conference, and he brings the energy, and the room just gets mellow when Indiana walks in, because everybody wants to say hi, and everybody kind of lets that stress level down, and it's just amazing. So what we were able to achieve, we are the chairs of the Children's Committee, we were able to make this the policy of the state of Connecticut through our Department of Children and Families. We recognize this bond. We are training our Department of Children and Families workers with our animal therapy teams so that they can be deployed by our commissioner when there is a need. So I'm going to turn this over to my co-chair to wrap it up.
Thank you. Well, Representative Urban got to show off a little bit about her dogs. I don't have one. I just got one today, and I'm thrilled to have my first dog. But I do have children, and I understand and I value the efforts that everyone here has made we, Diana and I, have worked very hard to make others in the legislature understand just how important the work that all of you have done truly is. And I would like to say, everyone has mentioned and acknowledged how valuable the dogs are. I just want to say thank you so much to the handlers. I have to say, my husband is a police officer, and while he was not part of what went on in Newtown, I do truly understand what goes on for first responders emotionally when they have to deal with some of the situations that they encounter. I am absolutely certain that many of you have had a very difficult time with what you had to hear, what you had to deal with when you were helping those children and those families. I hope that you're taking good care of yourselves and that you're getting the help that you might need, because often we can help others and forget about ourselves. So I really do hope that the handlers, that you are watching out for each other and for yourselves. I also think that from everything I've listened to today and everything that I've learned before this and even today, you know, it seems as though these therapy dogs certainly do help to make the world a kinder, gentler place. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. So as I stood here and I listened, I said to Diana, you know, this legislation we did, and we have copies of it if anybody wants it, we'll leave it out here today. You know, I'm very, very proud of what we put together so that Connecticut will now have an organized response team. But I also think we can go further with this. And I think in future legislations, we are committed to working and moving this further, because this could be a wonderful opportunity for all of our schools. Where could we not use the kindness and the warmth and the response that comes from having these dogs in our school system? I think we can use this everywhere, and we are committed to making this go further. So thank you all very much for being here today.
Thank you, Representative Urban and Senator Bartolomeo. All right, enough of the people. I know we're here to see the dogs, right? I spent a lot of time visiting different places in New York City with my own 2 therapy dogs, and all of us, I think, who do this know the feeling that you walk into a room, the energy changes. And what happens is somebody will come running up to you, and they'll actually go right to the dog and say, "Angel, Angel, Angel." 18 therapy dog teams that work throughout this 1,500-bed hospital. These volunteers work at Connecticut's only level 1 trauma hospital that serves both adults and children. These teams provide aid and comfort to those in need at no cost to any patient or family. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yale New Haven Hospital Therapy Dog Volunteers. Go find some shade. Next, Bright Spot. Bright Spot Therapy Dogs of Massachusetts. These are our Bright Spot dogs. All right, here they come. I got you, thank you. Here they come. Can we have the Bright Spot dogs up in front, please? One more is coming. This reminds you of, if you want a big dog, you gotta want a big dog. Bright Spot Therapy Dogs is dedicated to placing well-trained, certified therapy dog teams in meaningful programs that provide comfort and caring through the human-animal bond. Our special volunteers serve in a wide variety of settings including hospitals, nursing homes, schools, libraries, and other facilities where therapy dogs are needed. A big part of what went on here, Bright Spot Therapy Dogs of Massachusetts. Whoa! All right, go find some shade and a lint roller. Next, we have our solo canine teams. There are a number of teams that responded to the need, from local teams to faraway locations in the USA. So if we could have all of our solo teams come on up here, come on up front to be recognized. I have a therapy dog that I can throw in a shoulder bag and carry her into places. I know what it is with everybody and their big dogs. That's great. God bless you all for being a part of what went on here. Very nice. Thank you all. Next, the Newtown Strong Therapy Dogs. Newtown Strong, come on up. Come on down. Oh, here we are. You must have some friends somewhere, don't you?
I do, but they're on maternity leave having puppies.
They're on maternity leave having puppies. Next time they have to check the calendar to see if we have any events scheduled.
Let us know.
Okay. All right, so for the Newtown Strong Therapy Dog teams, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Newtown Strong Therapy Dogs is a group comprised of residents of Newtown and Sandy Hook who own and work with certified therapy dogs. After having worked together for many days following the December 14th tragedy in our town, Newtown Strong Therapy Dogs was formed. They are registered with Bright and Beautiful Therapy Dogs that is headquartered in New Jersey. Newtown Strong Therapy Dogs, dog, representing all of the dogs. Thank you very much. Next, Pet Partners. I hear you, Nancy. All our Pet Partners teams. You have 2 minutes? Let's bring them up. All of our Pet Partners friends. My Angel on a Leash organization is involved with Pet Partners. It's nice to see you all. Pet Partners Therapy Animals program trains volunteers and evaluates volunteers with their pets so they can visit patients and clients in hospitals, nursing homes, hospice, and physical therapy centers, schools, libraries, and many other facilities. They have 11,000 handler animal teams nationwide. This is Pet Partners. Next up is the Good Dog Foundation of New York City. The Good Dog Foundation mission is to elevate the stature and promote society's understanding of the therapeutic value of the human-animal bond. Good Dog provides therapy dog services to people in healthcare, social service, educational and community facilities in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and at disaster sites around the country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Good Dog Foundation of New York City. Next up, Pets on Wheels of Maryland. Pets on Wheels. You got some Pets on Wheels teams coming up? Nice to see you guys. Hey. Pets on Wheels brought more than 10 therapy teams from Maryland to offer support here at Sandy Hook. Pets on Wheels. Very nice. Thank you, Pets on Wheels. You'll all get a chance to visit with the dogs here later in a few minutes. And next, I'd like to call the Therapy Dogs International teams from TDI in Flanders, New Jersey. Let's get those TDI dogs down here. You'll feel the ground go even more this way. There's so many of them. Hi. Look at them all. That's great. This handler here just said, I know you because you and I starred in Sex and the City together. That was the highlight of my life, being on Sex and the City. Yours too. I still get residual checks for $1.75 or something every time the show is. Therapy Dogs International, TDI, is a volunteer organization dedicated to regulating, testing, and registration of therapy dogs and their volunteer handlers for purpose of visiting nursing homes, hospitals, other institutions, and wherever else therapy dogs are needed. They have approximately 25,000 therapy dog handler teams in all 50 states. TDI, everybody, Therapy Dogs International. What a great response they had here at Sandy Hook and in Newtown. God bless all of you for being involved in it. Remember, the legislation that the senator and the representative introduced are available at the registration desk if you'd like to see that. All right, now here's what you've all been waiting for. It's a chance to circulate and get up close and personal with all of these dogs and their handlers. Give them a hug. Thank them and their people for all that they did for us here. Then, go home and hug your own dog. Hug your own dog and thank them for letting you be the person and love you. God bless you all. Thanks for this wonderful turnout. Make sure you get around and see everybody. Thank you for having us. Thanks for being here. Can we get all of our speakers here?